Well, I like the part that you talked about business capabilities because a lot of times when we talk with clients globally, we recently had a conversation with a client in Southeast Asia, and they were thinking that it is all about a business process that they want to re-engineer. So sometimes people have this notion that we will want to re-engineer a business process, and that's probably what we want to do it. But I like the way that you're talking about capabilities, and business capabilities means the technology and business together to finally deliver business value, right? At the end of the day, organizations want to use technology, use these best practice frameworks and methodologies, but finally it has to make sure it is profitable growth. It's able to get
Yes.
customer retention. So I think there's a focused on business capabilities is a very key word that you mentioned around.
Yeah, it's a good point, Suresh, that you highlighted about the whenever we talk about business, they generally just talk about the process side of it. We forget the fact that in an organization, business is business, and is there are two angles to it. One is the behavior or the motion part of it, which is the process. How do we deliver it? How do we manage it? That's the process part of it. But there is a static element to business as well. That what are the capabilities? What are the abilities that we are going to possess in the organization to deliver that processes that we enable that processes that we have in the organization, and both of them are relevant for business because if we have identified those static capabilities, we can then now look at processes as orchestration of this capability rather than a set of activities that someone needs to do in the organization. And that's the shift, in fact, in the mindset needs to happen with composability, is that we should be able to build these building blocks, and by using them, no matter what the change is thrown on us, we are able to maneuver and make the change within the organization, which is the agility to meet the ask of the time.
Awesome. So
And I
one
think
one
it's, I think even stepping, if we take a step back and even just look at processes, which obviously, we've, that's what we've lived and breathed, right? In banking, ever since banking was established, the days where you could define a process, whether it be account opening or transaction settlement, or issuing a credit card, you define a process and let it just run and be confident that that process will hold true for the next year, the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Those days are long gone, right? So I think in banking, because everything's moving to a service-based, experienced sort of industry where you're no longer just giving a customer a loan or a deposit, or you have to give them an experience, right? The
right.
experience of buying a car, the experience of owning your first home. We've got to break away from that love of processifying everything, and instead recognize that what we design today, it's going to innovate again tomorrow, and it's going to innovate even faster the day after that. So I think there's a real mental shift that comes as you move away from processes and move towards composable architectures.
And I think you're right, Nish, because one of the things that we all are evidently seeing is the launch of the fintech companies, right? So they possess a huge threat for the banks, and a lot of people are asking that, why do we need to have to banks at the first place? I can still make a transaction to my thing without having a bank account. So it's going to be asking what value is banks going to do in the future, right? As we start to evolve the whole ecosystem in moving towards AI and thing, how are we going to distinguish ourselves to be staying relevant and being focused on that journey from the time it could be wealth management, it could be home loans, it could be that, but it's just one stop shop, right? And it's just gets everything together pretty much integrated to make this work, right?
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see those dynamics to do that.